Hi, my name is Shiloh Lawrence, and I'm going to be your instructor this semester. And I'm making a couple of videos for you tonight. One of them is going to just go through our Moodle page real quick and a couple of the documents that are posted on there, and just some tips for staying organized that hopefully will help you out tremendously when it comes time to take your first test. The second video I'm going to make is going to go over some things in MyLabs Plus. So I'm going to move my webcam here down to the bottom, and you might recognize this as our Moodle page. This is my Moodle page that might look just a little bit different than yours because this is an instructor page as opposed to a student page. So we've got the course documents here at the top, and then once you took your enrollment verification assignment, the welcome announcement popped up. I've gotten a few emails from people saying that they can't start their assignments yet. They don't have their book because of financial aid or whatsoever. And I encourage you to please get on Moodle and read the welcome announcement and get started. You can access Moodle without your book. And once you get started reading the things posted in Moodle, you will see I've even highlighted in red. There is an option for a free trial period if you won't be able to get your access code for MyLabs Plus right away. Even if you haven't gotten your access code, you need to log in with the free trial period and get started on your assignments right away. All you have to do is choose the pay later option the first time you log in and are prompted for your access code. So you do not need your book right away to get started. So you will not have any assignments extended for not having your book. You need to get in there now and do your assignments. We had an assignment that was supposed to be due on Thursday in MyLabs Plus. It was the diagnostic test. We've run into a couple of problems with it. A few people were having, first of all, some problems getting logged into MyLabs Plus. We were having some browser issues. And then also we found out that TestGen is not compatible with all the browsers. The diagnostic test was uploaded in TestGen. So what I have done is I recreated the diagnostic test as just a regular MyLabs Plus assignment, and I posted that last night. And I extended the diagnostic test to tonight at midnight. So if you still have not logged into MyLabs Plus, or if you still have not done the diagnostic test, you still have about 4.5 more hours. So you've not gotten a 0 yet. But you need to get in there and you need to do it in the next 4.5 hours, or you will get your first 0 for the semester. So I'm going to briefly go over these documents in just a few minutes. But the course is very, very easy to follow, very self-explanatory. Every single week is broken down into a block, and it says exactly what you need to do. These blocks follow along exactly with what your schedule of major assignments says. The block has a week number, and then it also has a date range of when that week starts and ends. Right under the week name, it says all assignments listed in this block are due by midnight on Thursday, and then whatever the last day in that week is. And then it says exactly what you need to do. So our first week was only a few days. That's because we only had just a couple of really simple preliminary things to do. So those are the things that we had to have done by Thursday. We've officially started week number 2 now because today is January 14th. So now we're actually starting our math. We've got 4 sections to look over in our textbook. I've included a video here on how to take notes using the SQ3R method. That is the method for taking notes that I learned in college, because reading a textbook is not the same as reading a fiction book for pleasure. You've got to read a textbook very differently. I do have some video lectures here, but you will find that I do not have video lectures for every single thing that we're going to cover this semester. So that's part of the reason that I asked you to list back up in discussion board number one of the resources that you're going to use this semester, because you cannot rely 100% on me posting a video on every single thing that we're going to learn. So some of you said you're going to use the Math Tank. Some of you said that you're going to use Khan Academy. You're going to use YouTube. Some of you said you had a really smart parent or sibling or friend that was going to tutor you. So all of that is wonderful. I would say use lots of resources. Don't just rely completely on one resource, but be willing to use lots of resources. And also be willing to ask for help. I am more than willing to help you with anything, but I have to know that you need help. So let me know that you need help. So I do have some video lectures here for Chapter 1. I do plan on putting up some more videos this week for the material for this week. So keep an eye out for those here in the next day or two. And then I also have a graphing calculator video, because a lot of the stuff that we do this semester is going to be a lot easier if you use your graphing calculator to help you. And then finally it says complete homework number 1 in MyLabs Plus. So that's after you've reviewed the sections and watched some videos. I've also posted the notes. You will see when I'm doing these videos, I am writing down notes as I do them. So the notes that I took while I did them, I post them as well. And then some things in the graphing calculator and do your homework. So week number 2 is highlighted right now. There's a box around it because we're in week number 2. Week number 3 is next week. It is available for you to see what to do. Week number 4 is available for you to see what to do. You probably can't see week number 5 and beyond. I can see them because I'm the instructor, and I can't let you work too far ahead, and that's because of our new attendance policy, which I'll talk about in just a minute. But I will open those up as we go along. So before you get too far in the semester, I don't want anybody to get all the way to test number 1 and do very poorly and then email me all upset and say, why did I do so bad? Why did I do so bad? What do I need to do to fix this? So I want to, right off the bat, give you some suggestions of things that you can do right here at the very beginning to increase your chances of success. And one thing I suggest is you make yourself a math notebook to keep everything nice and organized. And what I have in this math notebook are all those documents that I have posted in Moodle. On the very first page, I have our schedule of major assignments. It says every single assignment that's going to be due and the due date, so you don't miss any assignments. The second page is my contact information. The third page is the instructions on how to log into MyLabs Plus. I would also write down, if I were you, what your login ID and password are, in case you ever forget them. You'd be surprised, a lot of people forget their password or their login ID. And then the last document I have in here is the syllabus. And there's one very important thing that I need to point out to you, and that is halfway down on the second page, the entire college has a new attendance policy. And this policy states that if you miss 2 consecutive weeks of assignments, you will be automatically withdrawn from the course. No exceptions. Even if you have doctor's notes, even if you were hospitalized, even if you were in some terrible accident, even if you had a baby, even if you have amnesia, even if you went on vacation and tried to make some sort of arrangements ahead of time, even if you worked on your assignments a few weeks ahead of time and didn't miss anything, you have to work on something every single week. If you miss 2 consecutive weeks of assignments, if you don't work on anything for 2 consecutive weeks, you will be withdrawn from the class, no exceptions. That's because if we get audited by the state and they see that people are signed up for classes, but they are not attending the classes, the school will get in very big trouble. The last page of the syllabus, so I just skipped a bunch of pages, but I don't have a lot of time for this video. My videos have to be 15 minutes or less. The last page of the syllabus are just the sections that we're going to cover. The rest of the notebook is full of blank paper, and I've got it sectioned out with dividers. And what I suggest you do is for each one of these dividers, split it up into weeks. So week number 1, you are going to use for all the notes you take when you do your reading. And you are also going to write out all of the work you do when you do your homework. It is extremely important that you keep all of the handwritten work that you do when you do your homework, because all of your test questions come from your homework. You are going to open up your test and you're going to say, I've seen that question before, but I can't remember how I did it. Well, you know what? If you've got this notebook in front of you, you're going to say, yep, I did that question before, and this is exactly how I did it. Got my question right on the test because I have this, and I've done it before, and I know exactly how I did it. But you've got to keep it organized. You need to write out your steps. And sometimes you even need to take notes next to it of saying what you're doing and why you're doing it. So you need to stay very organized. You need to be very detailed. And you need to even possibly label the top of these pages, maybe section 1.1 notes, section 1.2 notes, section 1.3 notes. Homework number 1, problem number 1, problem number 2, problem number 3, and then problem number 4, 5, 6, 7, on and on and on and on. And keep all of that here. And the next section is week number 2, section 2.2 notes, section 2.3 notes, and then homework number 2, problem number 1, on and on and on. You get to the test, I promise you, you are going to be in heaven. You are going to have every single thing that you need right at your fingertips. Everything. Also, when you come in, if you come in for tutoring, there are so many times when I ask people, well, show me what you did so I can see where you went wrong and I can see what you need help with. And they're like, well, I didn't write anything down. Or I threw all the papers away. Or it's in here somewhere, and they pull out 40 different balled up pieces of paper with the writing going in 20 different directions, and they don't know what any of it is. There's no way that any of that is helpful for them when it comes time to take the test. So you want to keep all of this information that you're doing throughout the weeks nice and neat and organized and detailed, so when it comes time to take the test, it is all usable. So that is my number 1 suggestion for you to ace your tests. So that is it for this video. If you have any questions, just email me. I'm going to be making another video, and it's also going to be included in this email. And the second video is going to be all about MyLabs Plus.